To address your concerns on harm for children, there is no FDA testing that has been done on this medication for children, none. All of the research you've seen is testing that's been done on adults. A child's brain is different than an adult's brain, and testing for FDA drugs using the protocol for drugs is done through the FDA, and it takes years to put that through. Doing this application of these drugs and hormones to children now is a great harm to them because we don't know what the long-term effects are. So I'm very concerned about that as well. I agree with you on that. Hormone replacement therapy, hormone therapy, it's castration with chemicals. Don't let the sterile word confirm or lead you astray on that. Research has been done on adults, not on children. So all the support you hear in the statistics, that's research that's been done on adults and not on children. There is none on children. There's none. So we're going to give them these drugs without any research, know what the long-term effects are. That is abuse. Blocking puberty. Imagine an 8-year-old who decides he's really a different sex. Imagine a boy who decides he's a girl and goes through this therapy, and then by the time he's 18 or 19 decides, well, really I'm not, and that 80 to 95% that shift that way naturally, all of a sudden he's part of that group. But now he grows up and he's a 30-year-old man who's sterile and who has the penis of an 8-year-old child for the rest of his life. Imagine the harm caused to that person psychologically for the rest of his life. Dual diagnosis is a big issue as well. OCD, anorexia, and depression go with these. And this treatment that you're talking about does not address these issues, which cause depression and suicide as well. We need to make sure we take that in consideration. Harmful effects on adults, and this research on adults, 400 to 500% increase in one study for increased in heart attacks, strokes, and deep vein thrombosis, blood clots. Right? Now that is harm. So we're supporting something that has no research on children that has the potential to increase these deadly diseases for children by 400 to 500%. That is abuse. And I don't care what parent stands up here and says, this is what my child is, with all due respect to the representative.
Excuse me, Dr. Otto, I might need to ask you to close. 400
to 500%, there's no excuse for that. That is child abuse, and parental rights did not change that.
Thank you, Dr. Otto. We have a question.
Very briefly. Thank you. A brief question. I know that you've just given an impassioned speech about how providing care is child abuse. My question is, which is worse, in your opinion, side effects from a hormonal treatment or suicide as a result of gender dysphoria?
You're recognized.
That's a very good question, Representative Smith. I take suicide very, very, very personally in my practice. It's a very important issue, and I don't take it lightly. So any suicide is a difficult issue and is a travesty. And these children who are confused, these minors who are confused, who may outgrow that confusion as they grow, they may have suicidal thoughts now, they may have them in the future, and they should receive proper care for that. So please don't misunderstand my views on that one. But the research actually shows that suicide can go up after transitioning surgery. And that's a travesty as well, because it's being put forth that suicide levels go down. Now, again, that's research on adults. There is no research on children on this issue. There's absolutely no research on children on this issue, including the suicide rates. And also, I can tell you that the depression, the OCD, the anorexia, the other comorbid conditions, psychological conditions that have suicide associated with them, they're not addressed in this. So imagine that example, that 8-year-old boy that grows up and he's a man now with an 8-year-old's penis and he's sterile and he wants to have kids and he wants to get married. And what kind of psychological effects is that going to have on him? And will that lead to suicidal thoughts? Because that does not change. Will he look back and say, I was lied to? I was violated and I was not protected by the people, the adults in my world, the legislatures in my world, who are supposed to be protecting me from harm. Florida Statute 744 on guardianships. It talks about guarding and protecting those who cannot protect themselves. And it talks about imminent harm and danger, and how the legislature, the state legislature that we the people have elected, have decided it is important to protect valuable people who cannot protect themselves because they do not have the cognitive ability. We don't allow an 8-year-old to choose how many cookies he has before dinner. We don't allow him to choose his own bedtime. We shouldn't allow him to choose a lifetime damaging sterilization, chemical castration, physical surgery. There's 6,500 differences between men and women, chemically.
Thank you, Dr.
Changing one does not change a sex of a person. There's 6,499 left.
One more question from Representative Smith. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to clarify for the record, you said that there was no studies on what the impact was of hormones on trans youth. I just want to let you know this is a national study that was just published, which is actually from the official journal of the American Academy of Pediatrics, which says that puberty blockers are linked to a lower suicide rate for transgender youth. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Thank you.